What you know about Red Clover? What's up, everybody? It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite auntie uncle. It's your favorite hood healer, high priestess, motivational dominatrix, LadySpeech in the place to be. And I want to welcome you, yes, you beautiful soul, you, back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world, and you're also choosing to share a little bit of time and space with me. Thank you. That's valuable currency, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notifications bell so you can keep up with everything I got going on over here. Shenanigans and happenings, baby. Shenanigans and happenings. Now, let's get into today's video, shall we? Red Clover, send the magic right over. Hey y'all, I'm back with another herb of the week. It's been long overdue, but I'm back, I'm here. We're queer, I'm queer actually. Pansexual to be exact, you don't have to be queer, but I am. And I'm back with herb of the week, and we are coming out with the bang, honey. We are starting with clover, red clover to be specific, okay? Because there's a few types, honey. There's a few types, and when it comes to magic, you need to know exactly what you are working with, okay? So in this herb of the week breakdown, we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna break down a few of the folk names. You might see this referred to as in a few recipes. We're gonna break down the planet it comes from. We're gonna give you some intimate information about how you can use the red clover. Now, I didn't want to take up all of your time. I just wanted to take up a little bit of your time. So let's get into it. It's all in the name, honey. It's all in the name. Red Clover, send your magic right over, all right? Now, of course, I speak English, as you can see, and in English, American English, we call this red clover. But of course, in other languages, it's going to be called something else. However, in English, this is not the only name that this lovely, lovely root goes by, okay? I want to remind you that there are many different types of clover, and so these names cover a few different types of those clovers, okay? I wrote some of these down. I'm going to refer to my notes in this part of the video, but you might see this referred to as honey. So something to be aware of. A lot of times when we look at old school recipes or old school spells, that's what I mean when I say recipes in this case, when we look at these mystical recipes, a lot of times you'll see names of things that aren't the literal thing. A lot of times I think about in a lot of cartoons and in a lot of media when they depict witchcraft, especially some of the older films and the older works, a lot of the ingredient that they would use a lot for spells is eye of newt. So this might have you thinking you need to go get the eye of a creature, of a newt, and put it in there. And sometimes that's the case, but a lot of times it's not. And a lot of times it was actually referring to a plant in it, but they just use that sensational name, okay? So sometimes things are called something completely different than what they are. So sometimes you might have heard this or might have seen this referred to as honey, and they're not talking about the honey from bees. We also have honey stalks, shamrock, three-leaved grass, trefoil, and trifoil. So those are some of the names that Red Clover, send your magic right on over, might be referred to as. The gender is masculine. The planet is Mercury. The element is air. Why is it important to know these things about a plant before you work with it? Well, when you're talking about mysticism, when you're talking about root work, when you're talking about magic, everything about the plant that you're using, everything about every ingredient that you're using can factor and play a role in the root work, in the spell, in the manifestation you're looking to make happen, okay? So knowing the gender, knowing the planet this is associated with, knowing the element it's associated with, you can understand how those things might play into your spell. If you need something, a root working, a specific situation to go a certain way, understanding all things that are a part of your ingredients can help you guarantee that outcome in a very specific way, okay? You can use the elements, you can use the information to counteract something in the spell or to support something about that spell or that working, all right? So when you are coming up with formulations for your baths, when you're coming up with formulations for your root work, for your spell work, it's important to understand how harmful this plant is, like if it can physically harm you, if you need to have gloves and things of that nature. It's important to understand the spiritual aspects of it, like, you know, the spiritual and metaphysical properties, but it's important to understand its other characteristics as well. What is this considered as far as its gender goes? Now, we're not going to get into the conversation about the fact that gender's on a spectrum, all that kind of stuff. We're not going to get into that conversation. I will do a video about that at some point when it comes to magic and plants, okay? What you're going to find in a lot of magic, that things are gendered. Things are very gendered, and they're only working with two genders, which is the masculine and the feminine. Here's what I want to offer up, and then we're going to move on in regards to that part of the conversation in regards to gendered plants. A lot of what has been uplifted in regards to the knowledge of plants is colonized information. When we look at a lot of indigenous people and indigenous cultures, not all indigenous cultures operated on the binary. Actually, no indigenous cultures operated on the binary that colonialism and capitalism gave to us, okay? So when you see and work with indigenous people, and we are using our indigenous knowledge and we're working with plants, you will find sometimes that the plants are gendered in that case as well, but it includes more genders than just the masculine and the feminine, all right? I promise one day I'm gonna revisit this and do a whole video about it, but right now we talking about red clover, baby. We talking about red clover. We talking about red clover. So let's get back to red clover. Red clover, send your magic right on over. Now let's get into its powers, honey. Ha! You need some assistance with protection? Clover can help you with that. You need a boost in your love life? Clover can assist you with that. If we're talking about money, honey, Clover is your friend and can help you with that. Exorcisms, 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 exorcisms. You trying to eject some negative energy. You trying to push some negative spirits out your house. Add a little clover to your formulations and let that enhance you in that endeavor. You get some success, you get some success, they get some success, she gets some success, he gets some success, we get some success, I get some success. You need help with success. You need a guaranteed victory. You need a guaranteed victory. Red Clover? Clover could possibly help you with that. Ha! So I know we talking about red clover, baby, but there's more than one, okay? There's more than one, and let me break that down real quick for you. So first and foremost, we got white clover, honey. There's not just red, there's also white. There's not just red, there's also white. We got the 2-leaved, we got the 3-leaved, we got the 4-leaved, and we got the 5-leaved clover. Now that I told you all about that, let's get into a little bit more specific. Let's get intimate with the red clover. Let's get intimate with that red clover. All right. Let's talk about finances. Let's talk about lust, and let's talk about removing negative spirits, evilness away from you, okay? Healing, heartbreak, all of that. Clover can help you with that, specifically red clover. Let's get into it. All right, if you come up with formulations to help clear your space of specific negative spirits, consider red clover. Now, because of the appropriation of native indigenous faiths and closed practices, a lot of y'all like to run to white sage and sage to burn it to cleanse your space. I want to remind you that white sage is a part of a closed native indigenous practice, okay? Every single one of us has a native indigenous tradition that's not native indigenous to this land, unless you are native indigenous to this land. All all of us have practices where there are cleansing practices, rituals. We can use different elements to cleanse, okay? So burning sage is not the only way to get rid of negative spirits. You can definitely utilize red clover to help get rid of negative spirits, okay? I suggest using this to help with lust work or love work. If you are needing to heal your heart, putting it in some type of mojo bag or sachet and putting it over your heart, or putting it in your mojo bag formulations, putting it in your in your just herb bag formulation, sprinkling it in your bed, over your bed when you want to work on that, boost that love, that lust feeling, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing financial workings, you're making oils, you're making tinctures, consider using some red clover specifically for finances. And it's really interesting to me. In my study of magic, what I have found is money and love, money and lust love to work together. They love to work together. There are so many deities across cultures that have everything to do with abundance and sexuality, sensuality, or love work. And there's a lot of herbs that work well in the love space and work well in the financial space as well. So that's a connection that has existed for a very, very long time. And red clover bridges that connection. Let's talk about some ways to utilize red clover. So I talked about a couple of them previously, but let's get some specifics down. First off, it is said that growing clover and red clover, but clover in general, in your area keeps the snakes away, okay? That's what has been said before. That's what has been said. But utilizing this herb in your spiritual bath, so having a loose leaf spiritual bath, that's when you throw all the herbs in the water, you let them steep for a while, then you pour that over you, or you sit in the herbs. Or if you live in more modern spaces where you can't, where you're in the bathtub, you don't have like an outside to go take your spiritual bath in, get one of those large tea balls and put your herbs in there, and then steep those in the water, and then ladle that, pour that over you as your spiritual bath. Putting this in your sachets, putting this in your powder, so grinding this up. If you all make powders, hot foot powders, or other types of powders to use in your workings, you can grind this up and use it in your powders. You can grind this up and use it in your herbal concoctions. If you make oils, if you make soaps, you can make, a lot of us, what we tend to do is make a formulation and then use that formulation and adapt it to oils and different things of that nature, to use it in our candle magic and all kinds of stuff. So this can be used in a lot of that same way, okay? From mojo bags to your soaps to your handmade incense. If you know how to make incense, and making incense is actually not that hard. It's not as hard as people think. It's basically, you need to make sure you got the ingredients, but it's not that hard. Utilizing this and making it in your incense, okay? So red clove is something that you're not gonna find just willy-nilly at your random grocery store. You might find it at a really good high-end grocery store, but you're gonna usually go to an apothecary to get this. You're gonna go to some type of botanica to get this. You're gonna go to some type of magical store to get this. I am currently sitting and doing this video from Big Liz Conjure, because I am the store manager currently from this beautiful, wonderful place, and you can pick up red clover from here. So if you are in Columbus, Ohio, you can come on by and see us at 4260 Eastland Square Drive. Or if you are not in Columbus, Ohio, you can order this online from us from www.biglizconjure.com, okay? And if you're in Denver, Colorado, you can go to Herbs and Arts. They more than likely have red clover. I mean, the name of the store is Herbs and Arts. So you can pick it up from them. I do know that you can order from Herbs and Arts online as well, so you might be able to order this and have them ship it to you. I'm not super clear about, as of right now, as this video, about how they ship herbs, if they ship herbs, but call them. It doesn't hurt to call them and tell them that LadySpeech sent you. And that's that on herbs. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. Let me know if you are excited excited for the return of Herb of the Week. I plan on being way more regular with this series, way more regular. A lot of you have requested it. It gives me great joy to bring it to you. And like I said, I'm really kind of focused on a lot of magical education when it comes to this channel. And Herb of the Week definitely educates y'all. So I love it. Red Clover, send your magic right over. Make sure you hit up Herbs and Arts. Make sure you hit up Big Liz Conjure to get your Red Clover today. And on that note, like I said, if you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Gold star for you. Thank you for all your love and support. I love you so very much. Now, I don't want to take up all your time, just a little bit of your time. So on that note, now it's time to say goodbye, my loves. Now it's time to say goodbye, my loves. Just in case no one has told you today, you are beautiful. Thank you for surviving everything you have survived. I appreciate you. And on a personal level, thank you for your support. If this is your first time watching this video, welcome. I hope you join the fold, baby. Come on over to the Sugar Honey Dumpling LadySpeech crew. If you are not new to this, but you're true to this, you've seen my videos, you just know what's up, you've been following me, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. I love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now, on that note, if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notifications bell so you can keep up with all my shenanigans and happenings, my goings ups, my goings downs, my goings left, my goings right. You can keep up with all of that if you do all of that, you know, subscribe, like, follow, join. You can go to my page and join the Sugar Honey Dumpling crew. You get special, you know, perks being part of that. Members only chats, members only videos, behind the scene things. Y'all can suggest content for me and I make videos for you. It's good, it's good. Come on over. I love you. I love you. Thank you. You have a good day, a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night, a good middle of the night whenever you're encountering this. You have a good moment, a good week, a good second, a good month, a good decade, a good life, a good all of that. And I'll see you, God, Goddess, Ancestors, Loa, Orisha willing, in the next video. Mwah. Peace.